Are you not sure which states you should start getting licenses in the beginning of your telemedicine career? Let's talk about it in this video. My name is Lori. I'm your telemedicine chick, and in my videos, I provide you with telewisdom to help empower you and support you in your telemedicine career. In this video, we're going to talk about which licenses a strategy of you should start to get in the beginning of your telemedicine career. And I can tell you that can be challenging knowing where to start. When I started my telemedicine career, I think about now it's been about 7 years ago, I was really lucky. Telemedicine wasn't really popular. I got a job that only wanted me to have one state. And nowadays, that's not really happening. When you see job postings, they want anywhere from 5, 10, 20 states in order for you to even apply for these positions. And back then, when I started, I had a job, I had one license, and I was soon realizing that telemedicine is definitely where I want to be in my career. And then also, I knew that I need to be more valuable, not only for the company that I'm working for, but also more marketable. And unfortunately, at that time, my job wasn't going like, hey, we're going to pay for these licenses for you to get these licenses. So it was really completely on my budget, I guess we'll call it. And they weren't also either giving me guidance as well, because they didn't want to give me guidance because, okay, what if they say get state X, and then I go through the whole process and get it, and then they're like, yeah, we really don't need that state because we know there's not high volume, or we have another person that's licensed in that state. And that is definitely a trend that I've seen in other positions. Now, sometimes you may find a job that they're willing to apply for licenses for you, and they say, can you get X, Y, and Z license? But if you're just starting off in your career and you're trying to get into telemedicine and get that telemedicine job, if you have just one license, that can be a little bit challenging. So in this video, we're going to just talk about a strategy when looking at all of the states and which states to kind of focus on and possibly get first when you're planning that strategy. But before we get into talking about those tips that I have when it comes to licensing strategy, I would really appreciate it if you did a little subscribe down below. That way it will help grow my community and also help you not miss when I post another video that will help you in your telemedicine career. And be sure to watch until the end, because in the end, I'm going to share a free state that you can get right off the bat. And it's really, really quick to get. So make sure that you stay until the end to check out that free one. So one of the first things that I would think about when you are coming up with what states you're going to apply for is I would definitely recommend getting at least one of the high volume states. And those states are going to be California, Texas, Florida, and New York. Now, this again is based on my experience, but when I mean high volume, that means that these states typically have a large amount of number of patients, so that either when you are going to apply for a job, they're going to be, oh, wow, she can really help us, or he can help us out in that high volume state, with also including the other licenses. Or even if you're going to break out on your own, you know that these states potentially could have a lot of patients. So again, I would recommend, based on my experience, of getting one of the high volume states, and that would be either Florida, New York, Texas, or California. Now, one word of caution when it comes to all of these states would be California. Let me explain why. California is, I'm pretty sure, the highest application fee out there, right? It's not a compact RN if you're in a compact state. So you have to get that RN license. You're going to have to get that NP license. Both of them are very expensive, and it is a very long process. It's very hard to get in touch with the board. They're not very responsive. Personally, it took me a year and a half to get my license approved. And this was also after emailing them all the time, like, you have all my information. what is going on? And after a year, they actually said, oh, your application is expired. And I said, no, 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 no. And I proved to them all of these emails. So they ended up approving it, but it literally took a year and a half to get my license approved. Not only that, when you start applying for other states, a lot of other states will say, do you have any other licenses? And you're going to say yes. And then what they're going to require is a verification of all your other licenses. Again, another very expensive fee when it comes to California. At the time, right now, it's $100. I'm sure that might change at some point, but not only is it $100, but again, it's not a quick process. I've literally applied to other states and have said, listen, here's everything else. I did do California. I don't know when you're going to get it because I don't want to delay the approval of my license. So, word of caution, when it comes to California, I either think about waiting until the end or maybe not getting it at all because one, very, very expensive. Two, it's a very long process. And three, when it comes to the verification, not only is that as expensive, but it's also a lengthy process. My next suggestion is, on top of just getting at least one of those high volume states, is definitely going for those independent practice states. And the reason is for a couple of reasons. One, if you get a 1099 job that may not be offering you any collab providers, then it'll be great. The more independent states that you actually have, the more volume you will get when it comes to 1099 jobs. Because a lot of times these 1099 jobs, you're working on various times whenever you can. And the more states that you have and the more states that you can practice in, the more volume you are going to get, i.e., you'll end up making more money. Also, another reason to go for those independent states is, let's say you want to go out and break out on your own. The more independent licenses you have, you can actually work in all those states independently, and you don't need a collab at all. Because let's face it, collabs are expensive. So, another reason why, get those independent states, get a mixture of at least, again, one of those high volume states. You can get all of them if you want to, but definitely get at least one of them. And then I would definitely focus on getting a good handful of independent state licenses. Now, which states are independent? There are a lot of independent states out there, which is amazing for us nurse practitioners. But I will put a link down below of a website that has a map of all of the independent states. But they range from anywhere from Vermont, Washington, Oregon, Montana, Iowa, Idaho, Arizona, Nevada. I mean, those are just a handful of them. There are so many independent states out there. And again, I will link below. It's a map that shows you all of the independent states, and you're going to see a lot of green on there, which is so amazing for us nurse practitioners. And as time goes on, I'm sure that we're going to see more states come available. And just a little mini break. If you are finding this information valuable, I would love it if you give it a nice like down there. It'll help grow my channel and grow my community as I am trying to impart telewisdom to you guys to help empower you and support you in your telemedicine career. Okay, so my last little tip that I'm going to impart with you is not only free, but it's also one of the high volume states. And the last tip that I'm going to give you is a really great one because one, it's free, and two, it is one of those high volume states. Florida offers a telehealth registration that is not only free, but it is very quick to obtain. Now, it's important to know that when you apply for that, you are giving your original state license, right? And it could be any license that you're going to be basing it off of. So it is important, if you are currently in a state that you need a collab, in that telehealth, it's like you are abiding by the rules of your original state. So if you are in a state and you do have a collab, you do want to just be aware of that because you're adding now Florida onto there, which could be possibly adding onto your collaborating physician. So just be kind of careful with that. Typically, what some people will do is they'll have other independent states, and you can put any independent state that you are licensed in on that application. So again, Florida, free telehealth registration, and it is quick and it is easy and it's a high volume state. So I would recommend going and getting that telehealth registration. Again, it's totally up to you and what you want to do with your telemedicine career and your licensing, but that is something that I would definitely recommend. So those are my top tip strategies that I would think and consider when you are starting to get licensed for your telemedicine career. These are the strategies that I used when I started getting my licenses way back over about 7 years now, and they have worked very well for me. I'd be very interesting to hear if either you have already done your licensing and you do have a different strategy. I would love to hear it down in the comments. Of course, if you have any questions or you want to talk about telemedicine or getting into telemedicine, I will also link a Calendly link where we can meet up for like 15 minutes on a video and we can talk about telemedicine. And I would love to help and support you in any way that I can. I do also offer a state license application tracker. I'm going to put that down below as well. It's a great spreadsheet. It has each state has a tab. It has the Board of Nursing, it has the application links, it has the telehealth regulations. It has a spot where you can track all your expenses, put your receipts, put your notes, and then there is an overall tab where you can see where all of your applications are as well. I'll put that down there, and then I will also link, there's a sneak peek to it in case you wanted to take a little peek in it because you're just not quite sure if it would be beneficial for you, but I will put those links down below, so check them out. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you found this video to be useful for your telemedicine career. If it has, please make sure you share, like, and subscribe to my channel as I help to help me grow my community when it comes to telemedicine chick. Again, thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everyone.